Thank you, Dr. Mudita, Professor Garg, Professor A.M. Kadri, Professor Subodh Gupta, Professor Abhishek Raut, Dr. Shiv Joshi, Dr. Ashwini, and the young team that has facilitated this extraordinary effort. Distinguished faculty members, speakers, esteemed members of our association, and ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to be part of the valedictory program that for this conclave. And at the outset, let me thank the leadership of MJIMS Sevagram for accepting to host this IAPSM Young Leadership Conclave at MJIMS Sevagram. And more importantly, the young leadership of MJIMS Sevagram, who has taken this responsibility and hosted this conclave. So we are grateful to you for that. I'm sure that the discourse and deliberations will benefit the participants, and my congratulations to all the winners. But winning is something that we should keep in mind that winning is always an important milestone to move forward. But sometimes not winning is also important basically to put in more extra efforts in whatever we do. And therefore, I don't think that there is no need to discourage those who have not been able to win. And the another point I wanted to make is that we should not see this particular conclave as a cross-sectional activity. I'm an epidemiologist and would like to use the epidemiological term. So this should not be seen as cross-sectional activity, and we should see that how in a longitudinal way and in future we take this initiative forward. And I see mentorship program not only an opportunity but for a platform that if we can scale up, if we can scale up that and take this forward, we would be able to see that this activity is taken forward and linked up to the, and as we are committed at IIPSM to organize such conclaves every year. But in between two conclaves also, I would recommend and suggest that we should conduct activities to groom our young leaders and champions of the public health. That is important. The another point I wanted to emphasize is about the competence and skill building. It's clearly an investment. And we all recognize and realize and re-emphasizes that technical skills are critical. If you are an epidemiologist or a public health manager, or you wanted to work in the area of public health nutrition, you need those hip pocket competencies. There's no question about it. But in addition to the technical competencies, it's extremely important to have the soft skills. Identify your limitations. Nobody is perfect in the world. We all learn from experience. We all learn, over a period of time. So you have to identify what are your limitations. Maybe that you are not good at time management. Maybe you are not good at communication. Maybe you are not good at critically looking at the public health issues. And then improve and then invest systematically, strategically, and consciously on that aspect. It's not that you can't learn anything, and that we yesterday talked about in the context of leadership also. Some are born, but most are made, and you can all imbibe those leadership skills and competencies. Some of the skills which I would like to re-emphasize, which I mentioned earlier also, but like critical thinking. Nobody would teach you how do you critically think about it. But critical thinking is important. Analytical skills are important, not in the context of only technical analytical skills, but looking at from a larger perspective of responding to any public health challenges. Reflections are important. If something happens, sit quietly and reflect on an issue which we don't know at times is important. That's how we build our personality. Listening is an art. Listening is important. Listen to the people is important. Communication skills are overemphasized. Otherwise, I said. Yesterday, Dr. Panda was mentioning about three categories of the people: wise, otherwise, and supervise. I will leave supervisors and supervise other way, but I would definitely say wise and otherwise. Be in a company of wise people. Spend time with good people who have competence, and you enrich. You sometimes you see around you, you have people and you interact with them, and you cherish that discussion, you cherish that discourse. So you need to identify those are the wise people around you, where you can and where you can spend your time so that you can learn from them. The another important point I wanted to mention, which has contributed to my professional career quite significantly, is three suggestions. Suggestion number one is read books. Suggestion number two is read books. And suggestion number three is read books. It is important. Right now also I am reading this book, this 5 a.m. Club. I read around 15 to 20 books per year. I make it a point. I buy more books than I read. But this is very important, I tell you. You read books, and 5 years down the line, you will be a different person. I tell you, your thinking will change. Your communication will change. You will articulate your ideas and thoughts very differently. And that makes that's important. So that's another suggestion, that unsolicited advice that I wanted to give, is that read books, read books, and read books. Public intellectuals and public discourses are critical for development of any field, for that matter. That if you wanted to see that any field has progressed, it is because of the contribution of public intellectuals and public discourses. Now we need to see that how do we integrate those public intellectuals, how do we create those public intellectuals and integrate that as a part of our public discourses in public health, to see that public health is developed as a profession over a period of time. Think about it. Be a good human being. That's most important. And when you talk about leadership, the foremost important characteristic and attribute of a good leader is to be a good human being. There is no replacement for humility, humbleness. These are extremely noble characteristics. And nobody will teach that humility and humbleness. You have to imbibe those characteristics and attributes to be a good leader. Abraham Lincoln once observed, nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test the character of a person, give him a power. Thank you for this gracious opportunity. Thank you.